Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today we are talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but more specifically with that is that Quentin Tarantino's complaints about Disney have resurfaced after Doctor Strange's theater dominance, according to this article from Screen Rant here. A 2015 interview in which Tarantino criticized Disney for canceling screenings of The Hateful Eight resurfaces in the wake of Doctor Strange 2. And I know the exact interview that they are referring to. It's when Quentin Tarantino went on to the Howard Stern show. Because I remember watching the interview at the time. But anyway, let's dive into this before really getting ahead of ourselves here. A video of legendary writer director Quentin Tarantino complaining about the Disney company's dominance at the Cinerama Dome in 2015 has resurfaced in the wake of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness having 70 screenings. Yes, that is a 7-0. 70 screenings in a single day at the AMC Theater in Times Square. The latest entry in the Disney-owned Marvel Cinematic Universe sees the titular Doctor Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, traversing the endless multiverse with Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen, as the two attempt to undo the damage that is being wrought upon their reality, while also having to face alternate versions of themselves in the process. The Marvel sequel opened to mostly positive, if mixed, reviews, and has already been the Batman's opening day box office by quite a margin. I wonder why. Could the 70 screenings in one fucking day have caused that? Nah. As such, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness promises to continue the MCU tradition of being enormously lucrative, with the previous entry, Spider-Man No Way Home, earning an impressive $1.8 billion at the global box office. However, despite the critical and financial success of the mega movie franchise, it has become clear that not every filmmaker is pleased with the prevalence of the superhero series. Martin Scorsese famously denounced MCU movies as quote-unquote not cinema, and Dune director Denis Villeneuve recently accused the films of being a copy and paste of each other. Even The Godfather's Francis Ford Coppola claimed Marvel ruined studio movies as they try to replicate its elements to become more appealing. But even though some stars of the franchise, such as Samuel L. Jackson, have defended the MCU, the frustration many A-list filmmakers still feel over the dominance of the comic book blockbusters remains potent. This unrivaled power of the MCU has led the AMC Theater in Times Square to hold 70 screenings in a single day for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, leaving little room for other movies. In response, Twitter user Brandon, I'm going to really mispronounce his name, Brandon Struznig, reshared an interview from 2015, which features Tarantino complaining vociferously about Disney forcing the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood to cancel its screenings of his film, The Hateful Eight, in favor of Star Wars The Force Awakens having a longer run, quote-unquote, throughout the holiday season. And before we played that clip of what they're talking about, let me actually show you another Twitter post that actually shows all of the screening times for Doctor Strange in that AMC theater in Times Square, posted by Matt Singer. And you see some of these show times, these first two, 3 p.m. and 3:05 p.m., literally just 5 minutes apart from each other. Most are within 15 to 20 minutes, and he even admits that he couldn't fit them all in a single screen grab, but still, that is completely fucking asinine. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now let's actually play that clip in question of Quentin Tarantino complaining about Disney canceling his movie at the Cinerama Dome back in December of 2015.
We were going to play at the Cinerama Dome on the 25th. We were going to open there and play there exclusively for 2 weeks. And Star Wars was going to play the 2 weeks before us. And I grew up in Los Angeles, so I think of the Cinerama Dome as a real big deal and imagine seeing it at the Cinerama Dome.
Means something to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Disney, who owns Star Wars,
Yes.
decided, well, you know what? Maybe we want to play throughout the entire holiday season. And not, so we're going to go to the Cinerama Dome and say that they can't honor their contract with us to show The Hateful Eight. And the ArcLight people that own the Cinerama Dome said, no, you can't do that. We have a deal with the Hateful Eight people, and showing it in 70, that's what we do. We have the 70mm projectors. They didn't have to move them in. That's the thing. We even start off with the Cinerama logo at the beginning. As of yesterday, Disney came to the ArcLight people and said, no.
Wow.
You are going to play Star Wars in the Cinerama Dome for the entire holiday season. And if you don't, if you honor your deal with the Hateful Eight, we will not allow you to have Star Wars, the biggest movie in the world. We will not allow you to show it at any of your ArcLight movie theaters.
Oh.
So
More recently, Tarantino has claimed he's at war with Disney, citing Marvel and Star Wars as his main competitors, and remains a staunch defender of what he terms quote-unquote original movies over action blockbusters. And there are certainly some unquestionable parallels between Disney's canceling of The Hateful Eight and its securing 70 screenings in a single day for the MCU sequel. Although it's unknown if Disney made a similar demand for the AMC Theater as it did for the Cinerama Dome in order to get such a high number of showings in a single day, it does suggest that other movies will suffer in a similar way that Tarantino's gory western did, given that fewer time slots are now available at the theater for these films to be screened. Even though there remains much excitement among fans for the latest MCU installment, with the Doctor Strange sequel's weekend box office promising to be very impressive, Disney's monopoly of the AMC theater will likely be met with disdain from audiences. Along with its treatment of the Hateful Eight, the Disney company's acquisition of multiple studios over the past few years has generated an outcry from some who claim that this process is making cinema less diverse. And despite the success of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is already earning, this resharing of Tarantino's interviews strongly suggests that this criticism against the film giant is still held by many. Well, yeah, you can now effectively say that the movie theater business is not a fair playing ground. And look, guys, I've been guilty of this myself, where I've reported on box office earnings of some of these movies, but something I should have mentioned at the time, and again, I'm not, and again, I'm including myself in this, is that, that box office returns aren't really a clear mark of how a movie is truly doing at the box office, or even of its quality. And again, I put myself in this when you see all these movie bloggers that are talking about, Spider-Man No Way Home bringing XYZ amounts of money, or the Batman, or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or insert XYZ movie here. It's very clear by all of these showtimes that if you've got enough money, you could effectively buy out entire multiplexes for that single weekend to make sure that you are the top dog of your opening weekend. And again, guys, like I said, I have been guilty of reporting on this stuff too. So I'm not creating any exceptions, but no one should really be talking about, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, oh my God, it was the #1 movie in its opening weekend. Well, no shit. Now I have something I can actually point to. And I can't remember which video I brought this up in, if I even brought it up at all, but I remember going to see Hacksaw Ridge back in 2016, and that movie shared the same opening weekend as Doctor Strange. And I remember going to my local AMC and seeing that Hacksaw Ridge only had 5 screenings on its opening day, and Doctor Strange had maybe like anywhere from like 25 to 30 in its opening day. And I remember even telling people at the time that they're just going to have to take my word for it, because I obviously have no empirical evidence to even show that. Well, now I fucking do. I thought that Doctor Strange was bad. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness having 70 different screenings at one theater at AMC in Times Square. How many more theaters is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness really dominating? I'm just going to say 60 to 85% of the multiplex. Magnify this number out. It's probably a lot more than a lot of people care to admit. So personally, I'm not gonna report on Doctor Strange being the #1 movie at the box office this last weekend, because again, we have empirical evidence of Disney swinging their fucking schlongs around to make sure that they take over 60 to 85% of the multiplex. And again, yeah, it's only at one theater, but it's probably happening at a lot more than we care to admit. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, because I know I'm already sounding like a broken record. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm terrible at editing these videos. So I will just see you guys next time.